Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today I'm going to show you how you can identify potential root causes for a long-lasting or chronic illness by overlapping Ba Zhai, 8 mansions, with flying stars. So this is a bit of an advanced method of looking at both of these systems together. It may require a little bit of advanced sort of like Feng Shui knowledge, but I try to keep it easy so that even beginners can keep up. So this method is used when you are suffering from a long illness or prolonged illness or an illness or health issues that are reoccurring over and over again, or it simply takes way too long to recover from an illness. Yeah, so this is when you look into this method, not if you just get a cough or you get a stomach bug and it's over and it's a one-off. So this is really for something that is bothering you for a long time, is reoccurring over and over again, or you just it may take you weeks or months to get over an illness or a sickness that you should get over with in a matter of days, right? So then you can check what the root cause of the issue may be. All right. So this is these are the conditions for using this particular methodology. So first off, you need to actually know your Ba Zhai directions. So you go to the link here, and I'll also post this in the description to the video, and you plot your Ba Zhai chart. And in your Ba Zhai chart, there is this section here. So this is what we are interested in. Yeah, the rest we can completely ignore. We look at these. These are your favorable directions and your unfavorable directions. So this is what we're looking at. So this is the first step. Now, the next step, you then look at which sector is your Tianyi, your heavenly doctor, right? So in this particular case, it's the south. N stands for north, S stands for south, SE is southeast, and so on. So check what your heavenly doctor direction is. And because we're now using this not as a direction, but rather as a static point in your house, this then also becomes your health sector from a Ba Zhai perspective. So then you need to know what flying stars you have in your south sector. So for this, you need to be able to plot the natal chart of your property. So this is maybe a little bit advanced, but this is something that you can find online as well on how to do this. But you must understand, you must know the natal stars in your south sector. All right. So step 2, identify your Tianyi, heavenly doctor direction, and then look at that sector. So here, this is the south direction, and then you look at the south sector in your home and check what stars do you have there. We're not concerned with the big ones. Those are the base numbers. So just look at the stars that you have in the south sector. So if your heavenly doctor direction is the north, then you would look into this sector here. What are the flying stars in this sector, right? And we're looking at the natal chart, not the annual chart, not the monthly chart. We are focused on the natal chart, all right? Then the third step, because this has to do with health, we are focusing specifically on the sitting star. Yeah, the facing star has to do with career and wealth and finances. So we're focusing on the sitting star. The sitting star is a star that is on the upper left, right? So look what number you have in the upper left in your Tianyi, in your personal Tianyi sector, not in the house Gua sector, in your personal Tianyi sector. So this may be a completely different sector than the house Gua Tianyi sector. This is your personal Tianyi sector, right? So as I mentioned, it's a little bit advanced here. So look at what star you have, what sitting star you have there in the south sector if your personal Tianyi sector is the south. Now, in order to know whether this star actually causes a problem. You then also need to kind of like look out the window and see whether you have a negative external feature. So let's say you have a pylon, like an electrical pylon or something, or maybe a nuclear power plant or a sewage plant or something, a point, a sharp angle that is pointing at your south sector at your heavenly doctor sector. Then you know that this sitting star is creating some health issues and could be the root cause for your health issues or for that prolonged health problem that you're dealing with. If outside that south sector, everything is fine, maybe you have a nice garden there, or there's a park, or there are no negative features, nothing that makes you feel uncomfortable, then you can ignore this entirely. Yeah, this is only valid if the sitting star in your personal Tian-yi sector is affected by a negative feature. So let's say it is affected by a negative feature. Then you need to check which star is it, yeah? Star 1 to 9, yeah? You've got 9 different options. So if you have the sitting star 1 in your personal heavenly doctor Tian-yi sector, and it's affected by a negative feature, then the root cause for your prolonged illness, or why the illness is recurring over and over again, or why it's taking so long to recover, basically has to do with your rest and sleep patterns. They're interrupted. Something is wrong with your sleep. Even though the south may not be your bedroom, yeah, but it will affect your sleep because this is your personal Tian-yi sector. So if you have a number 1 there, even though it may be a toilet or maybe the kitchen or whatever else, this is your personal Tian-yi sector. And if it's affected by a negative external feature and you have the sitting star 1 there, then the root cause for your issues lies in your sleep pattern. So you need to look at your sleep, how you're sleeping, maybe change something up, maybe change the bed position or direction, or maybe change the side of the bed you're sleeping in, or maybe different kinds of pillows, whatever it is. Yeah, something is wrong with your sleep. Now, if it's a number 2 sitting star that is affected by a negative feature and it happens to be in your personal Tian-yi sector, then likely the root cause for this prolonged illness lies in your exposure to certain toxins or allergens, or sort of like environmental factors constantly cause health issues and prevent you from healing. And this could be that maybe there's a lot of dust in the air, so just get an air purifier, or maybe there's always someone around you who is smoking and you're inhaling that smoke. So somehow you are affected by environmental factors around you, right? So you need to take a look into that. Now, if it is the sitting star number 3 and it's affected by a negative external feature and it happens to be in your personal Tian-yi sector, then it has to do with lifestyle factors and sort of like unique unhealthy habits that do not support your health and therefore cause prolonged health issues or recurring health issues. So maybe your sugar cravings, or you really like fast food, or you do absolutely no sports whatsoever, or maybe too much, or maybe the wrong type. Whatever it may be, it's lifestyle factors, or you have really, really poor work-life balance. Lifestyle factors need to change. So you need to make a drastic change to your lifestyle. If it's the sitting star 4 in your personal Tian-yi sector and there's an external negative feature that affects it, then the root cause could be that maybe you've been misdiagnosed, or the diagnosis was delayed, and so therefore this leads to a prolonged illness. So maybe get a second opinion or a third opinion, just to see whether you're actually on the right track with your treatment. If your sitting star in your personal Tian-yi sector is the star number 5, then you may have to look into basically your entire sort of like life situation, health and well-being. Physical, mental, and emotional health are not in alignment. So you need to make sure that you that you are emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, and then also because this carries on into your physical health as well. So make sure that you take a much, much more holistic approach to your health. So if you're constantly suffering from migraines, make sure that you look at this not just from like a physiological point of view, but also mental and emotional. Now, if the sitting star is a star number 6, then maybe the treatment or the medication that you are taking is inadequate. So it's either ineffective or it's insufficient. And so that's why the symptoms keep coming back. So again, looking into alternative methods on how to treat this or get another opinion. If the sitting star in your personal TNE sector is a star 7, and again, it's affected by a negative external feature, then the root cause for your for prolonged illness could be a psychological issue or sort of like a physiological trauma that you may have forgotten about, or that's been long, long in the past, and you don't really associate it even anymore with your physical issue. And so this is something that you may have to look into. If it's the number 7 sitting star, this usually responds really well to hypnotherapy and Reiki, for example. Yeah, so looking into that. If the sitting star in your personal TNE sector is the star number 8, and it's affected by an external negative feature, then you may have underlying chronic health conditions that exacerbate your physical, the current illness. And that's why it takes so long to recover. So you may actually have to go through a very, very thorough health check, a total checkup, make sure that you check everything, because there's an underlying chronic health issue that's not fixed yet or not fixed yet entirely, and therefore the health issues that you are suffering from are coming back over and over again, or they take so long for you to recover. And then lastly, if the sitting star is sitting star 9 in your personal TNE sector, and it's affected by a negative external feature, then likely you have a poor immune system. And so the functions of your immune system are causing you prolonged illness. So there may be an autoimmune issue or something. So get that checked out, because that may be the root cause, right? So this is how you overlap the two systems. Again, I know it's a little bit advanced, but this is something that you can look at if inexplicably an illness just won't go away or reoccurs over and over again. But again, this is not for like a one-off illness, and it only applies if outside your personal TNE sector you have a negative feature. So electrical power grid, or a really, really dirty stream of water, or a sewage plant or a nuclear power plant, anything that is really, really negative, that is outside your personal TNE sector. And it doesn't matter what your personal TNE sector is, yeah, whether that's your bedroom or your study or a living room, doesn't matter what it is. And it may not be the same as the house square TNE sector, yeah, this is your personal one, all right? So hopefully this helped you guys. If you have any comments, questions, please put them in the comment section below. And if you would like to study this in a little bit more sort of like a systematic manner, you can do so. I have put up a new e-learning platform where I go much, much more in detail, and it's much more structured. So you can head on over there. It's lifemasterystudies.com. The link is in the description to the video. And in the meantime, as always, please give me a thumbs up, share the video with anybody who may be interested, and please subscribe to my channel. I post 3 times a week, and hopefully always with something that is immediately applicable and actionable. Thank you so much, guys, and see you soon.